Next, on Matt Houston.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we've got no phone, no radio, no helicopter. It's just not my idea of a fun party.
Better cock your pistols.
Must be an extra special VIP list for Houston to throw a party at such short notice.
His invitation list looks like a who's who of international dollardom. Oh, here comes someone now. Ah, how very nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. I'm Murray Chase, Mr. Houston's vice president in charge of various things. And you're... Please, don't tell me. Mr. Houston sent me a telegram with all of your names on it. Oh, what did I do with that telegram? General, I think?
Malcolm Abercrombie, and this is my wife, Celeste.
Lady Celeste. I'm Murray Chase.
Yes, so you said.
Derwin Dunlop.
Yes, indeed. The Derwin Dunlop. The genius who invented the Exodus home computer.
I'm very anxious to meet with the great Mr. Houston and to do business with him.
Oh, yes, indeed. It isn't often one gets a personal invitation in the form of a telegram to get in on the ground floor of a multi-million-dollar Houston Industries ploy.
Well, right this way, please. Thank you. Oh, just make yourselves comfortable and I will join you in just a moment. Girls, thank you very much. I really appreciate you doing this.
A Sunday afternoon, you're lucky to find us in.
Well, it's like I said, I didn't even know about it myself until this morning. But, you know, I can't figure out still why Houston didn't phone me. I mean, why did he send me a telegram instead?
CJ, you know, I still can't figure out why Murray sent me a telegram. I mean, instead of calling me on the phone, you know how he loves to talk on the phone.
Well, Houston, you know how Murray is. He probably got overly excited when he got a call from the aide to the Vice President of the United States asking to have drinks in your office.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I feel like a penguin in this get-up.
I wouldn't know, Houston. I've never dated a penguin.
Yeah. Well, CJ, listen, would you remind me to get away from the Vice President as soon as possible? I got something real important to do tonight.
Houston, what could be more important than being the keynote speaker at a banquet honoring the Vice President of the United States?
I'll tell you something. I promised little Tony Novelli I'd be at his first communion party tonight, and that's very important. See, he's my buddy.
Your Royal High. What does one call a Maharaja?
I'd call him sexy.
Yeah, I had Mr. Houston's guest list, and I know there was one Maharaja's name, but
Maharaja of Ranjipur. It is an honorary title only. I prefer being called Mo. It's short for my given name, Mohandas. I would introduce the lovely lady, but I'm afraid all we have in common is one short elevator ride.
I'm Clover McKenna.
certainly are. Wow. Jet set everything. Pilot, skydiver, Grand Prix champion. You even had an article in People magazine last week.
Well, I guess that high-priced PR man of mine's been doing his job.
Well, if you will follow me, I would be glad to introduce you to the rest of our guests. No, thank you, of course. And you all know Derwin Dunlop? And of course, Clover McKenna.
By reputation only. Is that a compliment or an insult, Lady Celeste? Make of it what you will. Had I known that you were going to be here.
That will be Mr. Houston. Time you got here.
What, the party start without me?
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it a party, but your guests are here.
My guess. Murray, I did... Murray, what the hell's going on here?
The business meeting you told me to set up.
What business meeting, Murray? The telegram you sent me told me to be here to meet the vice president.
Vice president? Houston, I don't know what you're talking about. This is your party.
Murray, read my lips. I did not set up any party.
Then why did you send me a telegram this morning telling me to meet and greet these guests of yours?
You got a telegram, too?
Yeah, it's inside. I don't understand.
I don't either. But I think we better go inside and take a look at that telegram. Well, Clover, I mean, what a surprise. Would you look at you?
Oh, Houston. It's been a long time.
Well, it has been a long time, yes. Well, I've got a problem, Clover. I'd say I'm just wondering why you and all these other people are here.
Oh, you're kidding. Well, you invited us.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Listen, why don't we go meet some people, all right? Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Matt Houston.
Derwin Dunlop.
Derwin Dunlop. It's a pleasure, sir. And you're Maharaja of Ranjipur. Nice to meet you. And Malcolm Abercrombie. My wife, Celeste. It's quite a pleasure.
Houston, here's the telegram.
Well, according to this, folks, I did invite you all here, but there's just one small problem, see? I didn't send this telegram.
Well, here's the telegram you sent me.
Sunday, 6 p.m., an invitation to a formal dinner to form a multi-million-dollar business combine. It's guaranteed to triple its investment in 6 weeks. And it's signed Matt Houston.
A duplicate of the cablegram I received.
And I.
Well, it is obvious that we have all been duped.
Is someone playing a joke?
If they are, I may know the reason why. But you're not going to like it.
Well, give it your best shot, Maharaj.
Aside from your two business associates, Miss C.J. Parsons and Mr. Murray Chase, we all do have something in common. We...
You all right?
Oh!
C.J., call the paramedics, pronto.
get him over to the couch, all right?
Okay.
Houston, all the phones are out of order.
CJ, try the chopper radio. Now, let's get in here. Let's put some pressure on this, would you?
You got it.
Buddy, stay put. CJ, are you all right?
I'll let you know when my heart starts pumping again.
Yeah, what happened?
I reached for the door and something just blew.
It's a nifty little gadget. That's what made it blow. Now, whoever planted that certainly knew what he was doing.
Houston. Houston, the elevator doors won't open.
Well, Murray, you got to use the emergency stairs. Walk down.
I tried. The emergency exit's been sealed off from the outside. That door won't budge.
Murray, are you saying that we are stuck in this skyscraper with no way out?
No, that's what I'm trying not to say. But you said it for me.
Houston, this whole thing is getting very spooky. Do you agree?
Yes, yes, I do. Well, you can forget about the radio.
Will the chopper fly?
Not even if Superman strapped it on his back. I tell you, we've got no phone, no radio, no helicopter. We got no elevator and no stairs. What we've got is a bomb and a poison dart. It's just not my idea of a fun party.
Well, this is for you. Hey, Paul, Lamar, pull up some pizza and have some fun.
Oh, hey, we're little Tony's first communion.
Grazie, Mr. Bo.
Mama, you got it wrong again. I'm Lamar.
And I'm Bo. Well, whatever. Oh, poverino, what's happening?
One of these days, he's gonna learn to stay on his horse.
Come on in and celebrate my Tony's first communion. Gino, guarda that fine Chianti for Mr. Bo and Mr. Lamar. By the way, where's Houston, CJ?
Yeah, Houston and CJ gonna be a mite late, Mom.
Oh.
Yeah, they had to stop by the office for another shindig first. But don't worry, they wouldn't miss this.
No, sirree, they wouldn't miss this over their dead bodies.
The important thing is to make sure that all those folks out there do not panic. And we got to jump on this thing, Murray. I want you to entertain them and just make sure everybody stays calm. CJ, you've got to find a way to communicate with the outside world.
Well, I've already got Derwin out on the patio trying to attract attention, but Houston, we're on the top floor of a skyscraper and nobody particularly cares.
It's gonna be dark soon. Why don't you use a flashlight to send SOSs? Maybe we'll get lucky, find someone on the ground who reads Morse code.
That's a good idea, Murray.
Maharaj is dead.
It'll be all right.
Don't you touch me, ever.
Charming. Any luck?
I dispatched 2 squadrons of those planes, each with its own SOS message. I managed to attract absolutely nobody.
Well, that's par for the course because there's not much foot traffic in this part of town on Sunday evenings.
Good. That means people won't get wet. There's a storm blowing in.
Phones are working.
Listen, don't talk, just listen to me. My name's Matt Houston. We're stuck on the 4th.
Houston. That's the funeral march.
Yeah, I know, Murray. Someone's got a very lousy sense of humor.
wonder if he had a family.
I couldn't tell you, Murray. I never met the man before today.
Houston, how can you remain so calm with everything that's going on?
Well, Murray, would it help you any if I just up and panic?
Well, no, but...
Yeah, Murray, listen, now, if it'll make you feel any better, I do have an ace in the hole.
We do?
Mm-hmm. Vince Novelli. You see, CJ and I were supposed to show up at little Tony's first communion party. Now, when we don't show up there...
Novelli will come after us.
That's right. Now, first, I think he's gonna phone. And when that doesn't work, he'll phone again and again.
And he knows we've got 26 separate lines coming in here, 2 backup generators. When he can't get through, he's gonna know something's wrong.
Like I said, Murray, ace in the hole.
How about a drink, your ladyship? I'm buying. Well, here's to marriage. A female plot to add to man's responsibilities and subtract from his rights. What would you know about marriage? You have never had the decency to marry any of your lovers. Maybe I've got too much decency to marry them.
Well, it looks like you're hard at work here. Did you find anything out?
Yes. Your piano has been rigged to play by remote control.
Remote control? Is it a sort of channel selector thing like people have in their television?
Basically, yes, but far more sophisticated.
Yeah, well, listen, whoever our mystery man or woman is, they've got a series of buttons that can, well, control the elevator, the piano, the phones. It can even blow up a mini bomb and fire a deadly death dart. And I'm just concerned about what they've got up their sleeve next.
You had to ask?
What's going on? I'm supposed to be sending an SOS, not responding to one.
CJ, have we got any more candles around here anyplace?
I'm downstairs in the gym. I'll go get them.
Well, good. Murray, you stick close to her. I mean really close.
You bet, boss.
Thanks, Houston.
You're absolutely positive, operator? Uh-huh. Yeah, well, I just wanted to... Thank you. Bye.
Hey, Houston's phone's still out of order.
Relax, Bill. Go back to your table. Sit down. Eat. Drink. Later, we'll open up Tony's present.
That's good stuff. Wonder what they call it.
Wine.
Thanks, CJ.
That enough light for you, Houston?
Yeah, I believe it is for what I had in mind.
What exactly is that?
Well, I'll tell you, I thought we'd all play a little game called Show and Tell. Now, what I'd like everybody to do is place the contents of what you're carrying right here on the bar.
That is ridiculous. That's an invasion of privacy.
Well, yes, ma'am, you're right. I could not agree with you more, but I'll tell you something. The Maharaja's privacy was invaded something awful, and I fully intend to do something about it.
Well, I'll submit to a body search if you do it personally, Houston.
This is some other time, Clover.
Houston, what is the point of all this?
Well, I'll tell you, Brigadier, have you ever read the phrase in the good book, seek and ye shall find? Well, I'm planning on doing a little seeking and a little finding.
Find what?
Well, hopefully, like a dart gun or a remote control device, anything that the killer might be planning on using on his or her next victim.
Another killing?
That's right, Murray. There's a strong possibility that there could be several more. Because I really don't believe that whoever's responsible for sending him to that big Taj Mahal in the sky went to all that trouble for just one victim. No, I don't. So shall we get started here? Ladies first, hmm? Lady Celeste. Letters are personal. You can hang on to that if you wish.
Thank you.
Well, there's nothing here. Okay, gentlemen.
Well, there is no remote control device or no dart gun, so I think it's about time we switch games. Let's say 20 questions. And the first question, ladies and gentlemen, is which one of us killed the Maharaja?
One of us.
Come off it, Clover. I mean, there is a man dead here, and I do not see any other suspects floating around. Now, let's just take it from the beginning, all right? Now, we do have the dart that killed the Maharaja.
May I see that?
Certainly.
This dart is used by Central African natives. I've seen these hellish things when I was there. They're tipped with a deadly, fast-acting poison.
Yes, well, so we've seen. But I tell you, the question is, has anybody else here been to Africa recently?
Just because I've been to Africa doesn't mean I killed him.
Well, I don't recollect anybody saying that you did, Brigadier. Now, there is one other thing that's been sticking in my craw. Yeah, you see, whoever's controlling all these electronic gadgets and gizmos has to be some kind of electronic wizard. I mean, to get in here on Friday after hours and rig the entire place, now that's something.
You mean someone who builds computers? Someone like me?
You're the one who said it.
Well, I'm also saying that I had no reason to kill that man. I never met him before today, and I had no motive.
Well, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
Of course you didn't have a motive. I totally
ridiculous.
vote.
Oh, come on, Houston. That's enough of this game.
Oh, now, hold on, folks. Just hold it a minute, all right? Please. Derwin, you being an electronic crackerjack of sorts, would you mind seeing if you can breathe some life back in that chopper radio for me? Hmm?
I can try.
Thank you, sir. Now, friends, we've got ourselves a couple of problems here. One being that none of us here have a motive to kill the Maharaja. Two being that nobody seems to have met the man before today, or at least that's what I've been told.
You were told wrong. My husband, he'd met the Maharaja.
Yes, it was many years ago, in India. I was on a goodwill mission to Rajipur. He must have been all of 10 years old. I'd never have known him after all these years if we hadn't been introduced again today.
Well, let's strike two, Brigadier. Because he said something just before he died. He said, all of us in this room have something in common except for CJ and Murray. Now, does anybody here have an idea of what that common denominator might be?
Hey, Houston, I think I got something.
Just everybody stay put, all right? Mayday, Mayday, come in. Can anybody hear me?
Mr. Houston was asking about common denominators. Frankly, Clover, I cannot think of anything more common than you. I know you. Mr. Houston knows you. My husband certainly knows you.
Steady on her, girl.
I have had about enough of your holier-than-thou attitude. No common thread exists. Derwin was a total stranger to me before today, so you can kiss your theory goodbye, Lady Celeste.
I'd rather you kissed my husband goodbye, you adulterous tramp!
Mayday, Mayday, can anybody read me? Come in, please.
It's a waste of time, Houston. What I got must have been that radio's death valve.
Houston, I think the natives are getting restless.
What is going on in there? What is this? Couldn't you do anything about this?
Thank you, boy. I'm rather enjoying it.
Ladies, come on now, ladies.
must be a lady.
Let me go! You're supposed to be a gentleman, not an adolescent schoolboy dashing after a promiscuous hippie. Please, please let me go! I want to get out of here!
There'll be a hot time in the old town tonight.
Somehow I don't feel like dancing. Lady Celeste's purse. Houston, what's the rule on reading other people's mail?
Well, I'd say if it happens to belong to a corpse and the contents of the said letter might save a few lives, my rule is go for it, CJ.
What a ghastly way to go.
I wanted us to be free of her. But not like this. Still, there is all that money.
Well, what'd you find out?
Well, if we were planning a stroll on the patio, our killer just canceled it.
Yeah, well, that's what I gathered after what happened to Lady Celeste.
How does that thing work?
It's an electronic force field. Electric eyes on either side of the door. Break that beam by walking through the field and, well, you saw what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you what, let's try something. Now, there's no way to deactivate this thing, huh?
If there is, I haven't found it.
Yeah, well, just out of curiosity. Murray, it's a wooden handle.
Great. Now we're really trapped. We can't even get out on the patio to send an SOS.
Well, tell me something, Dr. Wizard. We've all been walking through these doors since we arrived. Why wasn't somebody electrocuted then?
Because the killer didn't want them to die, yet. I figure we'll each be murdered in a different and very bizarre way.
Well, that's a cheery thought. If the killer's as smart as I think he is, he's got every possible exit wired in this office.
Excuse me. Houston, I just read Lady Celeste's letter. I suggest you do the same thing.
Now that killer's messing around with my baby.
Revenge to Houston's ear. So far, you've been shut out.
Yeah, and I didn't even want to play.
The guilty six must die, including you, Houston. Wonderful.
Yeah, how come I get special billing?
What is this?
CJ, I do believe Mr. Revenge is having some fun with us. He's spoon-feeding us clues.
Monte Carlo, 5 years ago.
Must be Rajapur.
That's the late Maharaja. He's viewing India's Republic Day parade. Who will die next? I wonder if that's a multiple choice question.
Okay, that's it. I'm taking control of baby right now. Touch one more key and you die. Oh, really?
CJ.
Watch this.
CJ, hold it. Come here. Just hold your horses.
Thanks, Houston. That could have hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, when's Uncle Houston going to get here?
I don't know, son. I just called his office and the phone is still out of order.
Tesoro, vieni. Come on and dance with Grandma. I want to see you shake, rattle, and roll. Vieni, go.
Any word from Houston? No, I'm gonna send the patrol car around and check his building out.
Patrol car? You figure something's happened to him?
No, all I know is he's got 26 phone lines, 2 backup generators, and I still can't get in touch with him. If he's in that building, it doesn't make any sense.
You need some help?
Oh, I think I got it here. You know, it looks to me like this was electronically aimed and fired.
At me?
Well, not at you specifically, CJ, but where you were sitting. Or would you look at this? I wonder what the killer had in mind for this sword.
Not a sword. It's a saber. There's a difference.
Well, excuse me, Brigadier. Don't get your crumpets all bent out of shape. It's just that, well, down home, we'd call this a Texas-sized frog sticker. It is some handsome handiwork, I must admit. You know, I saw one just like this when I was in England. Judging by the royal crest, I'd say it was from a king or a queen. Tell me something, would you mind telling me your full name, Brigadier?
What on earth for?
Well, just for whatever it's worth, I guess.
Malcolm James Abercrombie.
It'll all be. It's got your initials on it.
May I see that?
Certainly.
It's mine. How on earth it got here, I have no idea. Her Majesty presented it to me 5 years ago.
Another coincidence, Brigadier. Now, have you ever seen that gun before?
It's a sterling. And in answer to your next question, it's made in Britain.
Hold it, Houston. An unused saber and a British gun does not make Malcolm guilty.
It's a good point, Clover, but I tell you something, all these coincidences do have a tendency to add up.
Like neglecting to mention the fact that you had previously met the Maharaja?
Or like the affair you've been having with Clover, which your wife objected to rather strenuously.
Your late wife.
You people seem to have formed some sort of conspiracy to find me guilty of things I'm not guilty of. Why should I kill Celeste? I could have divorced her. It would have settled everything.
Now, I'll tell you something. This is a letter from Lady Celeste to her attorney. Now, it looks as though she was about to tie a can to your tail. She was going to divorce you.
Leave you without a shilling.
That's right. And so you figured the best thing to do was to kill her because you were the only heir.
Rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Is it rubbish? Now, that fight that she got into earlier, now, you came into the room and all she wanted to do was exit, and you stopped her.
She was trying to get away. The poor thing could never face a confrontation. She always fled the room when one occurred.
That's right, but you stopped her. And I tell you, it looked an awful lot like you just pointed her at that patio door where she was electrocuted.
I did nothing of the kind. What do you people want of me?
Well, I'll tell you something. For the morale of everybody in this room, a full confession would be dandy.
That you will never have. No, I'm warning you. Houston, I don't want to have to use this.
Why don't you just put it down, Brigadier? I mean, you're not the type to be running around poking holes in people. Besides, it's very uncivilized.
Not to mention messy.
Why don't you just put the frog sticker down, Brigadier? And you and I'll have a little chat. Yourself a seat. That's more like it.
Still in the dark, Houston? Here's a clue or two.
Well, you just keep them coming, Mr. Revenge, because one of these days you're going to slip up and give me one clue too many.
Where did that film come from?
Well, I'm not sure, but maybe you could explain a little bit about it, Derwin.
There's nothing much to tell. It was about 5 years ago. I had just invented the Exodus home computer. And the California chapter of the American Electronics Association had given me a special award. They named me Man of the Year.
Yeah, well, Derwin, you being the electronical whiz kid that you are, maybe you could see if you can get control of baby back to us, huh?
Yeah, I'll give it a try. It'll take some time, though.
Taps.
Yeah, but for whom? The Brigadier or the rest of us? Well, it's 3 down and 3 to go, Murray.
Houston, something has got to be done.
Murray, I'm working on it. How you doing, Derwin?
Well, it's not easy, Houston, but I'm getting there.
Murray, what is going on? Houston, letting that person work on baby is a monumental mistake. You said it yourself. Practically everything in this office has been electronically rigged. And Derwin's...
I know, is an electronic genius.
Houston, he's got to be the killer.
Well, Murray, maybe he is and maybe he's not, but I tell you what keeps sticking in my mind is, now, a couple of years back, I had a layover at this airport, so I picked myself up one of those murder mysteries, you know? Well, it was all about a group of folks that were trapped in this house, and they were being picked off one by one.
That's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, I know, but see, I tell you, the way it ended, it turns out that the first victim really wasn't dead at all. See, he staged his death. And it was him that was picking off the people all along.
Houston, are you thinking...
Uh-huh. Let's go look for the Maharaja.
Houston, they're all gone.
Okay, Bambino. Looks like it's gonna rain. I think we better go home like everybody else.
But Uncle Houston promised he'd be here, and he will never break a promise.
Yeah, I know. It's part of the cowboy code. But something must have come up.
Grazie per tutto, eh? Oh, Carl.
I am. Okay, Hopalong. We'll give it a little while longer.
You think that's...
Lieutenant, I checked out the Houston building like you said. All secure.
Front and back.
Every. Tight as a drum.
Are you sure?
Well, there was something funny.
Yeah, what?
It's sort of hard to explain.
Come on, Carl. Talk to me.
Well, when I walked around into the alley behind Houston's building, there was this... Lieutenant, you're gonna think I'm bonkers.
Come on, out with it now.
Well, there was this old wino sitting there all by himself.
Yeah.
And he was wearing an old, worn-out sports coat. Gray tweed. A dead ringer for the one I owned when I graduated high school.
That's it?
Told you it sounded bonkers.
Yeah, you did say that, Carl. Okay, look, if the gray sports coat shows up again, do me a favor. Don't call me. I'll call you.
Oh, Carl, are you hungry?
On a diet, Mama. I'll take a rain check.
Well, that should do it. I did a bypass operation on her. You should have control now.
I told everybody you were a genius, Derwin. I knew you could do it.
Yeah, listen, CJ, would you put up that Indian parade stuff with the Maharaja in it?
Okay.
Since he was murdered first, let's stick with him.
What do you expect to find, Houston?
Well, hopefully a little proof that I really did read all those chapters in the book.
And the Maharaja faked his death.
Oh, Houston, you took his pulse. He had to be dead.
Either that or he found a way to make us believe he was dead.
How?
I'll tell you, Murray, there's several different ways you can do it. Now, there's some drugs. They're not your average, everyday, over-the-counter drugs, but there's a few of them that will suppress the vital signs temporarily. Now, hold it, CJ, would you blow that up a little bit? Now, before tonight, I never set eyes on that man. Now, I've done business with him in the past, but always long distance. Yeah, CJ, see if you can blow it up just a little bit more.
Sure.
Okay, now freeze that. Okay, folks, meet the real Maharaja of Ranjapur.
So our guest was a phony Maharaja.
That's what I'm betting on, CJ. Listen, would you put up the Monte Carlo shot of Clover? Now, when was this taken?
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Now, why does that phrase keep popping up? 5 years ago. I wonder if that's the common denominator that we've been looking for.
Eastern, I think you've got something. I mean, 5 years ago, the Brigadier was presented his saber. 5 years ago, Derwin won the Man of the Year award. And 5 years ago, Clover won the Monte Carlo race.
But Clover, at that point in time, besides winning the race, was there anything that happened in your life, anything unusual or different?
Nothing I can think of. I won the race, and I flew back to the States a day or two after that. Oh, there was that party given in my honor.
No, wait, what party? I mean, who gave the party for you?
Oh, this American I met in Monte Carlo, I would rather forget.
Well, has he got a name?
Brogan.
T. Dempster Brogan?
That's the one. Do you know him?
And then some.
Now, I know a Brogan, too. Derwin, do you know a Brogan $5 million worth? Ladies and gentlemen, all the pieces are finally beginning to fit together. You know, we're all our own common denominator here. Derwin, me, Clover, and the late Abercrombies. You see, just 5 years ago, Brogan set up a so-called non-profit organization and built a dam in Ranjapur. We all collectively gave him $20 million to do it, supposedly to help the starving natives.
And Brogan went south with the 20 mil.
Yeah, but then he was arrested in India. On our deposition, he was tried, convicted, and sent to an Indian prison. And I tell you, judging from what happened tonight, I'd say that he escaped or he was released, one of the two.
Houston, are you saying...
Well, Mr. Revenge Brogan, guess who? I know you're in here. And I'll bet you $1 you've been using my elevator to come and go as you please, and I'll bet you're in there right now. Now, I know you got your heart set on killing me and Clover and Derwin. I'll tell you something, it'd be a very big financial mistake, because if you kill me, I can't write you a big, fat, blank check. No, and I know you got very expensive habits. So what do you say, Maharaja? Why don't you come on out of there and we'll all hunker down over the checkbook here and get this thing squared away, huh? My congratulations on your makeup expertise, Maharaja Brogan.
It's the actor in me, Houston. I always wanted to be one.
I guess killing is a little more profitable, is that it?
Okay. Everyone but Houston. Into the elevator. Our friends stay locked in while you and I hunker down over your checkbook.
Now, how do I know that you're not just going to kill us all when I hand over the check to you?
You don't.
The thing hasn't been fired since my great-granddaddy used it in his last turkey shoot. Hey, buddy.
Uncle Houston, you promised you'd come. I knew you'd keep your promise no matter how long it took.
Well, partner, what are you still doing here,
Houston! Oh, guarda, guarda, guarda. The princess and the pauper. What kind of crazy party you been to?
Yeah, Houston, what happened? You look like somebody used your face for a soccer ball.
Well, it's really not that bad. See, Vince, we went to a terrific party. I mean, all kinds of nifty people.
Real nifty people. Maharajas, the English aristocracy, a brigadier.
Yeah, that's right. And you know how those things are. I mean, we just kind of got trapped.
Good point, Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Houston, I'm so glad I finally got you. I've got good news. The coroner found the other two in the stairwell. And I've got better news. The bomb damage to the chopper, the machine gun holes in the furniture, the broken picture window, and the bloodstains on the carpet, all covered by insurance. $50 deductible.
Houston, what's he talking about?
I have no idea.
It's a $100 deductible.